Hi, welcome to the garden today. Today I'm by myself. My name's Gary. I'm from the Southeast Texas on 9A, and it's about the time you need to start planting your ginger. I'm going to say it more than once. I do got some elephant garlic that has already made. I'm going to be planting my ginger, and this is just store-bought ginger, non-organic. I did buy it about 6 weeks ago, and I left it in the garage, and as you can see now it's got these little bulbs on it. Now if you can find it in the store like that, that's great, especially this time of year. The other one's got the same thing, and that's what's going to make the plants that's going to shoot up. This here is going to be the I guess it's a stem, and it's going to be running along underneath the ground. Now first thing let's do, these are some carrots that I planted late. They might still get a little bit bigger, but we're fixing to get hot. This is the elephant garlic. It's already fell over. Once they fall over like that, they're done. Same thing with the onions, like this one. Here's kind of, none of these are really completely ready, but I don't want to wait any longer either. So we're going to pull them. I'm not going to do a whole lot. I mean, that might get the size of a golf ball if I left them in there for 2 or 3 more weeks. So first thing we're going to do is pull up the elephant garlic, see how big it got. Okay, not bad, not great, but not bad. Now they will form these little corms you'll see on there, and you can save those, and they will make probably another elephant garlic about this size, and then you can plant those corms in the ground, and then they'll grow bigger. So I mean, for elephant garlic, that's small. But this might have been from a corm. I don't remember. I don't know if I made it from a clove or from a corm. So that will determine the size. So the corms don't get that big. You have to wait on them, because when they first pull them, they all look like they're a bulb, and then whenever they dry, they'll split off the separate segments. If they're from, a clove. If they're not from a clove segment and they're from a corm, they just form a round bulb like this and stay like that. They do almost like an onion. So we'll set that off over here to the side. And we're going to put up all these little onions, just to get them out of the way. I mean, they were extra onions anyway. They were not my main crop. So, like I say, they were planted late. They were the right variety. They were short day onions. But right now they're in my way. So we're going to get those out of my way. And we still use them. And now we got all that cleaned up. We're going to take these. Now, see how well this is going to work. You don't need to plant the whole thing. You want at least 2 or 3 of those shoots on each one. So I got 3 on this. Now when I plant this, I'm going to plant it going this way. Okay, if I plant it going this way, they're going to grow out like that and continue to grow whichever direction you're planting them in. So since you got 3 going out like that, I'm just going to dig these down in here and set that down and cover it back up. And we got this one over here. I'm going to cut it about right here. And again, I got one here, really 3, and there's one right there. I don't think it's going to make it, just shove it right into it. We're going to plant it right in here. And let's see. Get this right here. And I'm going to plant it right in the middle. I know these are going to go that way, and what we're hoping is this will cover this whole thing before it's over with. And this one, it's a pretty good size, I'm just going to plant one of it. I'm going to plant it over here in the corner. And I need one more. But see, I could cut it there, but I'm going to cut it right here just because it doesn't have that many sprouts, and we will cover it over here. Now, as you see, there is some kind of weeds and things. We'll save this for another container. And since we got some weeds and things in here, I'll take some more of this mulch, put it over here, and go ahead and cover it. Now, ginger does not take a lot of fertilizer, but it does take some. You want to plant it in an area that gets some shade, afternoon shade, and this should get pretty good shade. It's more sun maybe. If it gets too much sun, I can move this if I need to. And you'll tell if it's not getting enough. If the ends of the leaves starts burning, that means it's not getting enough water. Which you say, well, water it more, but a lot of times it's not getting enough water just because the sun's so hot it can't pull enough water up into it. A lot of people say it's a full sun. If you're further up north, it is a full sun. But down in Texas, especially the Gulf Coast and the southern part of the United States, a lot of stuff that says you need full sun, it really does better if you'll give them a little bit of afternoon shade, dapple shade or whatever. You could actually probably grow this stuff up underneath that big tree behind me, and that's where I've grown it before. But I'll keep an eye on it. I'll watch it, see if it needs to be moved or not. It's going to take about 9 months for this stuff to grow. 6 to 9 months, and right now it's 1st of May, so we got all May. So you got June, July, August, September, October, November. So I got 6 months. At the beginning of September. I might have 8 months if you go all the way to December. So got a little bit of time, but like I say, it is getting a little bit short. If I was going to plant ginger, you don't want to wait till like July and plant it, because even though it'll grow just fine, but it just doesn't have enough time to really spread out and make enough rhizomes. Now, like I say, you can overwinter them and they'll grow again the next year, but that's not ideal, because the stuff that's a year old really is not worth eating. So you want to eat the current year's growth. But anyway, if there's any inhibitors planted that's put on those any inhibitors put on that ginger, it will wear off. Like I said, it took me about 6 weeks. I do put it in the garage. I found that stuff will sprout faster, like your potatoes and stuff of that nature, your ginger. If you put it in the garage, it gets more humidity there, and I think that induces it to sprout faster. If you put it in the house is pretty dry, even though we're in a really humid area of the state. We've got the air conditioner running all the time. The air conditioner, your air conditioner is just a big dehydrator, and it's dehydrating everything in your house, so your humidity is lower, so you don't get a bunch of mold growing in your house. So if you put it in the garage, it gets that extra, it gets the extra humidity. Like I say, I've noticed that with Irish potatoes. You put that in the garage, and they'll sprout really quick. So if you're pressed for time and need to do it, I would definitely put them in there. Like I say, go try to find the older ones if you can, that's already got those nodules. You can go ahead and plant them. You could plant them even without those, but you don't know where the nodules are going to come up, and also you're just leaving it in the ground for possible rot or something to eat on it or whatever. So it's usually better to go ahead and get them where they're up, ready to grow. So here in a couple of weeks, these things will be sprouting and looking good. But anyway, make sure you keep them watered. And thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. And hey, ginger's fun to grow. I enjoy it, and ginger has went up. Ginger's like $3 something a pound now. So if you use a lot of ginger, it's definitely worth growing. It's not hard to grow. Just don't give it too much sunlight, and give it plenty of time to grow. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.